So it's what, day 2 of the river blogs here with Broad Ambition, and it's another windy day, and we're at the moorings here before you get to Potter Heigham. So these are not the quiet moorings. Well, I don't think they are. Yes, they are. They're the quiet moorings. You've got the quiet mooring sign there. So the running of engines is prohibited. There's no fishing, but it's free, but you can only moor for 24 hours. It is a little bit of walk into Potter Heigham. And I apologise while I'm talking to you that we have got that annoying wind going on. We've got Prelude here that came in and executed the most amazing mooring, and then have decided to move their boat along by, well, using rather a bit more engine than maybe preferable. Sheila's here as well with me. She's not too happy today. She's still having the hay fever. So not quite as bad. It will be though, yeah. But I'm gonna sort of sign off from talking, and just, you know, maybe we'll walk along and I'll put some music or something, just so that annoying wind on the microphones isn't so noticeable, and also frame the shot better as well. And we won't be using that, I don't think. But what is that in there? What? Is that your...
My phone and my card holder.
Oh, I thought it was all of your money.
No. I didn't even have that much money.
So we're in the Potter tea rooms, and first time I've been in here, and it's absolutely lovely, and they do a really fine selection of stuff here. We're going to go for something in the all-day breakfast menu, but they do fish and chips, roasts, lunches, sandwiches, burgers. I mean, look, cheese deluxe melted all over, $9.95. It's 100% beef served on a warm gourmet bun with homemade coleslaw, skinny fries, or fresh cut chips with a salad garnish. So my opinion is, when it first opened, perhaps just a tiny bit too much money for Potter Heigham, but having seen some of the people's food and read people's reviews of the place, I think it's actually well worth it. So I thought I'd just do this piece in here. Obviously you do have your standard cream teas. And this is Bank Holiday Sunday in here, so obviously it's quite busy at the moment, but I would thoroughly recommend coming in here if you're in the Potter Heigham area, and I'll give you an honest review once I've had the food, so more as it happens. Well, Sheila's just finishing her fish and chips, which she said was absolutely lovely. Mushy peas are amazing, and especially the tartar sauce, which normally isn't something that she likes, but was... How was it, honey?
Something different.
Something different. Good? Right, good. Burger is all gone. The chips are like proper chip shop style chips. Fluffy on the inside, nice and crunchy on the outside. I had the burger with the cheese. To be honest with you, the burger a little bit firm, and the cheese that was used was, you know, a mild cheddar, so it didn't have so much of a kick as a nice mature cheddar might. And fresh burger though, but I think they could score a little bit more points on two things in here, which is basically to use a different type of burger, maybe, you know, with some fresh mince that sort of falls apart a bit more. And secondly, when they're taking orders, they tend to have everybody queuing up while they write down the order and then punch into the till, which then generates a printed receipt for the order, which they then hand to the person to action. So if they didn't write the order down before punching into the till, it would speed the queue along. So you join us here on a grey now, blustery Sunday afternoon, departing from Potter Heigham. Sorry about the wind. I've got the sides down on the boat presently. That was to aid our departure, to enable the wind to come through the wheelhouse rather than act as the wheelhouse sides as big sails, so decreasing the windage on this boat. And it was an interesting departure because the boat that was ahead of us had left quite spectacularly. It was a case of try once, we failed, try a second time, we failed, try a third time with all out power and just going for it, scraping their stern down the side. The wind sort of abated, they bounced, they got the bow sort of clear of the boat in front of them, but then of course their stern clobbered into the transom of that, and yeah, and I thought, shit, Right, that's going to be us soon with this wind. So what are we going to do? So I said to Sheila, look, I'm a bit worried about this, but I think the best option is we're going to do a spring line on the bow. We'll bring the stern out away from the bank and I'll back into the main river, but we also need to turn the boat around, and I'd rather try and do that here than closer to the more populated moorings towards Potter Bridge. So it was all going well, and the stern came out nicely as expected, and as that did, I knew that the wind would catch the bow and that would help spin the bow back towards the bank as I continued to back away from the bank. So the wind's actually acting almost as like a wind assisted bow thruster. Unfortunately, mid-evolution, there was this god almighty gust of wind that took the bow a lot quicker than I'd expected it to, and that then meant that the whole boat then was creeping sideways towards someone's Hampton 25, and they were on board and they were doing the meerkat thing. What's going on? And you know, Sheila's out saying it's all right, don't worry, and I'm thinking, is it all right? Oh, I wish I had your confidence, hon. But actually, once that gust abated, we did a very efficient 3-point turn in the middle of the river, and now we're underway and going the right way. So no casualties, scrapes, bangs or wallops. But I do get a little bit worried, don't I, honey?
Yeah,
she's in the pilot seat, as you can see. She tells me instructions. Once we're underway, she'll sort of say, you know, 5 degrees port and so on. But no, it's because people, owners and hirers, will look at Broad Ambition and admire it, and when it's a challenging environment like a blustery day, I tend to feel like a little bit more pressure, like this has got to go clockwork. Because if you're in a hire boat, let's face it, if you sort of drift into the bank behind you, and then you sort of, the wind catches you and you end up the same way round that you were, back against the bank, alright, no one looks, oh well, try again. Do it in Broad Ambition as well. Oh well, they can't do it either, can they? Look at that then. They probably don't, but in my mind they do. Even if these mystery people are just like the trees or something. Anyway, our destination, however, today is Sow House. Honey, do you have money?
What?
Do you have money?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I've got money, I think. I just realised. Mooring fees.
£6.
£6, but maybe 8. I'm not sure. Tenor is on board, so it's okay. Are we going to sing our way to Sow House? Please don't, they say. So yeah, that's what's going on. Sow House is our destination. This is the River Thurn. It's so grey, but it's dry, it's mild. It's 19.1 degrees at the moment. So it's the Thurn Regatta this weekend. We've got boats, sailing boats to our left, as you can see. They're going to be coming round this buoy here. We've got boats coming from the right. There's a poor Lathams in the middle of the two as they sort of go at each other like gladiators. Oh, I'm like a bloody commentator here. And it's number 24. He's going to crash into number 318, but he doesn't, he avoids it, but he's still going to maybe be heading for us. And look at him over there as well. I don't know where they're going. He's saying we should have gone for the buoy. I'm saying a bit of a stern. We're off again. More power because he's going to come round now. And if you thought that was nothing more to come, we've got this one now coming up behind us with a good wind. So we're going to have to keep an eye on what he's doing. But over in the direction of St Benet's Abbey, we've got more racing there, and they're racing, they're not just out for a Sunday afternoon sail. So they will take no prisoners. Because the wind conditions today are quite steady, it's quite easy to predict where the yachts are going to be tacking. I think we're also going with the yachts at the present time, but there's a buoy that they're going to turn and then come back towards us. And I'm not too sure, but I think when they're going to be coming back towards us, they may have to start tacking up the river. So that's where things get interesting. If they're not tacking us, then it's a piece of cake. But I think this boat here is quite likely to be on that right hand bank where we are. He is, so you've got to be ready. We're now heading port. Then the rest of the field are coming up to us now.
Oh, that's a big splash.
Big swell coming through now as well, Sheila says. Nice to feel Broad Ambition going through a bit of a swell sometimes.
We're in the sea, hooray!
Staying to our starboard bank at the moment because obviously he's not going to be doing anything silly or tacking, but you see the one ahead of him, slightly different line. He's going to go, but I reckon that I'm not going to slow down and give because I say he's going to head out, but I will just in case. But I was right, he isn't, so we're cool. Back on the power, hugging the reeds. Big swell again. There's the buoy I was talking about, the bright orange one there, just ahead of us. That's their turning point. We came through a lot of yachts yesterday actually, and I didn't film it, but a lot of people get really nervous about it. Hirers, even some owners, you know, like, Christ, what the hell am I to do? I find it quite exhilarating actually. So you join me at the bow of Broad Ambition, competently being skippered by Sheila at the moment, and we're just on the River Bure heading towards Horning, away from Ranworth Dam. We're in a bit of a convoy at the moment of boats, which I'll show you in a second, and as you can also see from the sky, it's pretty grey and horrible. That wind has died down a little bit. It's actually quite mild, as you can see. Don't have to wrap up at the moment. So there is Sheila doing a grand job. The anchor end behind us recently sold from Waterside Marine Sales, so the guys on that enjoying their new purchase. And as for us here, I'm confident that you'll be annoyed enough by the wind on the microphones, but here we are. This is the scene from the bow. Oh, you just love that noise on the microphones, don't you, of the wind? But here we are, we're at How Hill. We were going to head up and Wild Moor, but I decided, well, there was space, so why not get into it? And it's not on the sort of the straightaway past the main moorings where you've got two boats trying to squeeze between a moored boat, and I've been hit there before, so hopefully here we're going to be safe. I'll keep this brief because of the wind noise, but we're just trying out these new things that we bought recently for BA, and they're like multi-purpose fenders. They're on Amazon, they're reasonably cheap, they're very hard wearing, they come in various sizes, and as you can see they sort of adapt to their shape, and I've just put that there simply because, you know, you don't know what's going to happen with the thing here, and that there would protect against the boat, and I've just tied it to the handrail there. So first time we've used, if it's needed, it will just stop the boat touching on the key heading there. But as you can see, it's a great day. The temperature's fallen down now to about 12.5 degrees from a high of about 18 earlier. So I'm going to head on into the boat. And out of the wind, so you can hear me now. But as I was saying, here we are, we're at How Hill. Turf Fen Mill is right here, and this mooring pretty much here, in fact just where that blue boat is there was the exact point, but that I moored up when I was 8 years old, my mum and dad, on my first ever short break boating holiday on the Norfolk Broads. And I've got somewhere a picture of me, Saucy Gem 5, we're moored here. And there was no key headings then here. It was all very close to the river level, grass banks, use your rond anchors to moor, and we moored here opposite the windmill, which I have to say, looking a bit shabby now. It's gone over the years of looking really lovely when they paint it, but obviously now it's needing some more work on it, I think, to stop it getting beyond the point of just painting and having to replace bits of wood, etc. So as that inky darkness envelops the landscape, I thought I'd talk to you about memories and emotions and what the Broads means to me. And referring back to the video there, my first and most vivid memory actually, here 8-year-old Saucy Gem moored opposite the wind pump. That picture, little did I know that all these years later I'd be here on a boat that I part own, and it's special that this part of the Broads is so recognisable. It's got that wind pump, the key heading might have changed, but still you can come here and you know where you are, and it just is something deeply meaningful to me. I think regular visitors to the Broads have their own special moorings that mean their own thing to you. But parents who bring their kids, whilst this day and age may be very different to when I was young, and perhaps more might go home thinking, thank God that holiday's over and I had no phone signal and I couldn't download the latest game. Some, a seed will be sown, and it will go on, and you'll get pestered to come back for that boating holiday, and it's where it starts. And it doesn't matter how often you come back or how old you get, whether it's visiting new places or going over old ground, it all does slowly change, and it is a very magical place. So if you've only been once, then do come again, because surely the bug will get you as well. And for those who've been bitten by it and just can't get enough of it, and when they're not here are itching to return, I know your pain, because let's face it, the real pain is in the wallet. Your heart and your mind are most happy when you're on the water. Odd thing really, wanting to live on a boat when you've got a perfectly nice large house that you could live at with all the amenities and hot running water when you want it 24 hours a day. But there is something special about being on a boat, and I'm pleased that my parents, although they started their boating career, if you want to call it that, on the canals in a period of time when they were sort of transitioning from being industrial motorways to falling into neglect and disrepair, and people were like, people want to pay to holiday on these places, where the canal boats were anything but luxurious back then. And then they moved on to the River Thames, and then found their way onto the Broads, and then I came along and we came on the Broads, and well, the rest is history. But as ever, I enjoy bringing you these moments, these blogs for memories for myself, and sort of a historical record, if you like, and I'm pleased that you come along for the ride. So until the next Broad Ambition River blog, here at How Hill, that has been part 9 of the Broad Ambition River blogs.